Hello and welcome to another episode of Me, Myself and Ego. I hope you enjoyed the last episode. Today I thought I would address a couple of questions that I get asked quite a lot. Things like, do I need a coach? What does a coach do? How can I find someone I can trust and someone who can actually get me results? Just a bit of a pre-frame. I've had quite a few people asking about life coaches and many asking about business coaches. So I thought I'd address both as a collective. And remember, this is my opinion. You're listening to my podcast, I'd hope by choice. So remember, you have a choice and you can choose what you take from this. My entire philosophy is that you always have a choice. You are in control of you, your thoughts, your actions, your mind, body, and soul. So embrace that liberty and freedom while listening and before you draw any conclusions. Okay, first of all, as with anyone, you are giving permission to come into your life, whether it's a coach, a mentor, a teacher, a friend, a partner, a lover, accountant, doctor, dentist, anyone. You have to check that their values are similar to yours. You see, this is where so many of us go wrong in so many areas of our lives. We enter into a relationship, whether it's personal, business, or medical, without really knowing anything about the other person, what their values are, what drives them, let alone what their core beliefs are. We enter into these relationships expecting something. Then whether it's immediate or future or further down the track, we are often then confronted by the realization that we are very different. We don't get along, and we might conclude that they were the wrong choice. Have you ever been in a situation with another human and something happens and you're like, what the actual fuck were they thinking? How could anyone think that was okay or acceptable? I know I have many times. Generally, more often than not, it's because you and that other human don't have the same values and core beliefs or even similar. Or, and I'll touch a bit more on this later, or you or they are not actually aligned and being true to their values. They're not in integrity. Remember, values are what's most important to you. Core beliefs are deeply held beliefs that you believe to be true. They are how you see and think about yourself and the world around you. Together, they are your guiding compass, your right from wrong, your motivation to move toward or away from something. The problem is they are generally unconscious until we become aware of them. I often get asked if values are the same as morals. Now, one might think they are, and in many ways they are kind of similar in that they both allow you to decide what's right from wrong. But morals are what someone else has told you is right or wrong, what society has led you to believe is right or wrong, what your parents, friends, family have told you is right or wrong, based on their values, their core beliefs. Societies, countries, cultures, churches, congregations, organizations all claim to have what they call values. However, they are more like morals in that they are telling you what is right and wrong. But we won't go too much into that today. So to recap, morals are someone else's version of what is right or wrong. For example, someone might tell you that X is right and Y is wrong. You might know that what they are saying is correct because that's what you've been told and conditioned to believe. But if you are conscious enough, you might also feel that what they are saying isn't right for you. If you then went ahead and did X, for example, because someone else told you it was right, but deep down you felt it was wrong, then you are out of alignment with your values. Sure, you might be doing what society thinks you should, but that's how and why people get depressed, feel regret, shame, embarrassment. They feel stuck, lost, and ultimately just aren't entirely happy because they are not true to themselves, to their values and their core beliefs. They ignore and go against their values, do something they feel isn't right for the sake of other people's beliefs, which results in, again, being out of alignment and integrity. In a relationship, as I said before, no matter the type, whether it's romantic relationship, business, or personal relationship, if you are not true to yourself, your values, and your core beliefs, it can and most often will create tension, arguments, conflict, and ultimately resentment. We are in many ways living proof of this in the world at the moment. So many of us are being forced to do things that feel wrong or not quite right. We are being led to believe one thing, told another, and being made feel wrong, crazy, alone, isolated, or ostracized if we so much as whisper our concerns. Our values are being tested, and many of us are too unconscious to actually realize and notice what's happening. We just know we are afraid or unhappy or that something isn't quite right. Despite what side of the fence you think you sit on, it doesn't actually matter. The issue is that in so many cases, we have been convinced that we aren't allowed to do what feels right to us, what aligns with our values, because these decisions are being made for us, taken away from us, or so we think. Values are yours. They are what is most important to you, what you are most passionate about, and they will allow you, when you choose to acknowledge them, they will allow you to decide on what feels right or wrong for you. Again, when you're not living in alignment with your values, you are out of integrity. You might feel confused, frustrated, resentful. You'll feel twisted and contorted. Why? Because to be out of alignment and integrity, it means you are doing things for the benefit of others, other people's reactions, acknowledgement, approval, validation, and or disapproval even, rather than doing what you know deep down to be right for you. Okay, so backtracking a little, and hopefully you can better understand what values, core beliefs, morals, alignment, and integrity all mean. Let's go back and answer the question. How do you find a great coach? Someone you can trust and someone who will get you the results you desire. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to find someone who has similar values to you. They don't have to be exactly the same, but they do need to be similar if you want to get results. Otherwise, you'll have resistance. You won't trust them. And when they're trying to guide you and give you advice, you won't listen. Once you find someone with similar values, you have to then confirm that they are actually living in alignment with their values. Confirm that they are in integrity and confirm that they are actually living the result you are seeking, aka they are living their truth, or have proof that they can get you there. Thanks to social media, it's very easy to, one, paint a picture of success, happiness, and create envy in the viewer or listener or observing customer. And two, be misguided, misled, and sold a concept of someone else's perceived success and happiness as the observing customer. Meaning it's very easy for people to post pretty pictures of them looking fabulous, successful, wealthy, happy, in love, fit, healthy, or whatever they are trying to sell you. And on the flip side of that, as a consumer or customer, it's very easy to look at other people on these platforms and see the fabulous looking life they appear to be living. In order to find yourself a great coach or safely go into anything online for that matter, you need to look beyond the pictures, look beyond the story they are trying to sell you. How do you do that? Again, like anyone you're allowing into your life, interview them, call them, reach out, ask them some questions, listen to them speak, read between the lines, allow yourself to feel what they are saying. Then trust your gut, trust your intuition. And the most important element, you must remove any desperation you have, any expectation you have for them to be able to help you until you have consciously decided that they have, one, have similar values to you, two, are living in alignment with their values, that they are living their truth, that they are authentic, meaning whatever message they are portraying, they are actually living that message. Again, remembering you have a choice as to who you work with, who you allow into your life, who you enter into a relationship with. If you are desperately wanting or expecting something from that person and you allow that desperation to influence your choice as to who you work with and or allow into your life, then more often than not, the decisions you go with will have been made out of desperation and potentially not the right one for you. Yes, your situation may be urgent, and yes, you may want help or need help quickly, but making any decision from desperation or a place of desperation and urgency is never going to serve you. This can be applied to almost any situation, any decision you make in life. Think about a time when you jumped into something because you were desperate for a solution. How did that work out for you? Unfortunately, so many coaches and people in general are lying. There, I said it. Not necessarily intentionally, and not only to you, but sadly to themselves, because they are totally out of alignment and integrity. Now, the other question was, do I need a coach? And why would I need one? What does a coach do? A great coach, I believe, will help you realize your own abilities. They shouldn't ever tell you what to do or how to think and feel. They should provide information, food for thought, help you reframe things, provide guidance, inspiration, and hope. They should empower you to find the right path for you. And regardless of what type of coach they are, they should also have the integrity to ask you the right and relevant questions to help you both decide if working together is going to be mutually beneficial. As for whether you need a coach, honestly, only you can decide that one. If you have identified there are some areas in your life that are lacking, if you've noticed reoccurring patterns, if you are struggling with something, in pain, suffering, or want to achieve something in particular, whether it's happiness, better communication, you want to be healthier, fitter, you want to work in your relationships, love, your business, parenting, for example. If you want to get better at something, make something easier, then I have no doubt that a great coach can help you with those things. No doubt. But you also have to be coachable, meaning you have to be willing to allow that person to help you. I'll go further into that perhaps another day and what it means to be coachable. But the long and the short of it is that you first need to identify with what and where you feel you are struggling, or what and where you want help. Then you can go searching for a coach, whether it's social media, Google, Instagram, friends or family might refer someone to you. You can find a coach that works in the space or the area that you want help, whether it's business, personal, or both. Once you find one or more, then you can figure out if you have similar values to them. Interview them, as I said, ask them questions, look beyond the pretty pictures on Instagram, lean in and be aware of how they make you feel. Do you trust them? Do you want to work with them? If your values align, you trust them, you want to work with them, and they want to work with you. If they are in integrity and both of you are being congruent and assuming you put the required effort in, then there is no reason why you shouldn't get the results. Does everyone need a coach? Well, I think so. A mentor, a guide, or someone who has been there and able to inspire and empower you, for sure. Also keep in mind, like with any relationship, you will most likely outgrow your coach, your mentor, or your guide's offerings, which is totally fine and normal. And as a coach myself, that's what I want for the people that I work with. If a coach is trying to make you reliant on them, in my opinion, it's not healthy and it's completely counterintuitive. You come to them for growth, not to stay stagnant or on repeat. So I hope that's answered your questions and given you a little bit more of an insight on how to go about finding and trusting a great coach. Everything I have discussed, all of the principles can be applied to any decision you need to make with regards to any relationship in your life. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Me, Myself, and Ego. If you liked it and found value in it, don't forget to like, share, and review, and I'll see you in the next episode.